humanitarian crisis is a condition that represents a critical threat to the health, safety, security, or well-being of an individual or community. Humanitarian crises occur if any conflicts, natural disaster, epidemic, or pandemic. Also, that general problems like food insecurity, deep-rooted poverty, environmental degradation, political instability, and bad governance. Hundreds, even thousands of humanitarian actors and networks are out there in the world fighting for humanity. These actors consist of a wide range of agencies, interagencies network, and organizations that can combine their aid to enable international humanitarian assistance to be distributed and channeled to the places and the people in need of their assistance. The intergovernmental organizations that focus on humanitarian issues are the United Nations. The United Nations agencies are the forefront that operate in the field to channel the assistance to the people in need. These agencies are the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, World Health Organization, WHO, World Food Programme, WFP, and the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. Humanitarian NGOs are responsible for helping people that are displaced and scared by war and natural disaster. These NGOs are International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, Doctors Without Borders, Action Against Hunger, International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Society, IFRC, and Oxfam International. Child soldiers in Sudan is an example of a humanitarian crisis. Sudan's conflictual situation has resulted in a large number of children recruited as soldiers. At least since the Sudan war started until it experienced the escalation, there were around 10,000 child soldiers. With this problem emerged, actors will become an antidote or deterrent to the massive use of child soldiers. UNICEF has supported the reintegration of 3,785 children associated with armed groups in South Sudan. Under the umbrella of the South Sudan Government National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission. Recruiting and using children under the age of 15 years old for an armed force or military purposes is strictly prohibited. According to international humanitarian law, it is understood as a war crime. Thus, those who use children as a soldier could be convicted as a war criminal by the International Criminal Court. Child soldiers' practices are flourishing for several reasons. First, they are seen as expendable, replaceable, and they are cheap to maintain. Second, the recruitment, training, and armament cost less than for adults. Third, child soldiers undoubtedly obey orders, as they are not mature enough to think of the risks, thus being easily influenced and controlled. There are two ways child soldiers being recruited. One is forced recruitment, and the other is voluntary. Abducted is the most common way of forced recruitment. The 2008 Global Report on Child Soldiers in Lord Resistance Army Armed Groups, the LRA, has abducted about 25,000 children since the 1980s. The voluntary factors are poverty, lack of education, and abuse, home or past conflicts. Child soldiers are now a transnational issue due to four following notions. First is the idea of world citizenship. Globalization excels in the growth of networks between individuals and communities that transcends sovereign boundaries. With mutual respect, the network unites the society's view in contributing for a better world. Shared value and knowledge within people, open access of abundant information in regards to children's rights, prohibition of abuse and coercion, war ethics, and value of human internationalism, people start to become aware of trending global issue although they are not directly involved or affected by it. Furthermore, the case of children soldiers is still a subject undergoing intense study. There are debates of children soldier status as a combatant and the need of international recognition for former children soldier protection. And at last, child soldier activity received a transnational response. The international community which creation of Children's Rights Convention that birthed optional protocol on the involvement of children in armed conflict 2002. One of the national actors that have interest on the issue is Save the Children organization. The purpose from this organization is to improve the lives of children through better education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, as well as providing emergency aid in natural disaster, war, and conflicts. The organization was founded by Eglantine Jebb, who also created an initial draft for what would become the UN Declaration of the Right of the Child in 1923. From the 5 points of children's rights, the highlighted part that became the basis of protections of children involvement in armed conflicts was mentioned in the 4th point. The child must not be put in a position to earn a livelihood and must be protected against every form of exploitation. In Africa, to decrease the number of children soldiers, Save the Children organization created funding for children in order to make sure that they get education, healthcare, and stop becoming children soldiers by giving them education in order to have a better life.